Hello, it's Sondre here. Thank you for all the questions. Now let's start with ZAPYTAJ GÓRNIKA. Best footballer that you met? That's actually a guy from Norway. He didn't play at the highest level, but his name was Jonny Furdal. He was a local player in my hometown, and he was just exceptional. He could do everything on the pitch, and I remember every time we played against him, he was by far the best player on the pitch, so he's the first one that comes to mind. Second question, how old were you when you started playing football? How does system of football youth training look like in Norway? It's a good question. I think almost every kid in Norway starts playing football at a really early age. Probably like 3 or 4 years old, I started playing organized. And I think from a perspective of how it goes, it's more like about having fun. From a very young age, you are all about having fun. You train every day and you compete and play cups in the weekend. And I think this is some of my best memories from my childhood is the enjoyment of just going to football training with your friends and just enjoy football. What was your first position on the pitch when you started playing football as a kid? Really, when we played as kids, I don't think it was so much about the position, but I always was an attacking player. I love to score goals, I love to dribble, to create something, and I was running a lot, and I think, you know, when you were a kid, you were just running everywhere and just you just wanted the ball. So I think from the midfield and forward, it was my position. Why did you give up on jet skis? I think sometimes times catches up. It was more of a thing from my childhood, and I was lucky and to be able to travel around and compete, and at some point it just made sense to quit because I started playing football more seriously when I was 16, 17 years old, and from there I just continued playing football. Okay, if you weren't a footballer, you would be a biathlete or a cross-country skier, or would you not play sports at all? Yeah, probably I would do something that involves sports because I love to compete. I think to be an athlete you need to love the competition, and I remember when I was younger we skied a lot. We had a cabin at the mountains, and I think every weekend we went skiing. So maybe I would be a skier, you never know. How do you recognize Poland as a place to live? Great. I live here with my girlfriend and it feels so safe. Of course now the climate is not the best, but in the summer it's amazing. It's so warm, it's beautiful, and people are very calm here and nice, and I like it. How did the change of position from defensive midfielder to striker affect you? No, obviously it was a good switch for me. I think the mentality of me as a player has always been to try to help the team, even though you are playing on the midfield or on the winger or as a striker, if you are on the bench or if you are playing. But of course my preferred position is striker, and I think there is where I can help the team the most, and I'm lucky to have this position now. Okay, do you prefer to play as a solo striker or in a duo? For example, like Lautaro Lukaku in Inter, strong striker to cover the ball and a finisher. Of course it depends. It depends the opponent, it depends how the team plays. I'm comfortable with doing both, but I think I can do more damage alone, especially if you have wingers that likes to run behind and to be direct, because then obviously I'm more of a dropping striker that can keep the ball and help the team to get higher up the pitch. And also every striker wants to score the goal, so that's what you're training for, and that's what you're also aiming for. So yes. Why, after so many good games played, you still have low overall in EAFC? You deserve more. Now you have 61. I think it's been 10 years since I played FIFA, so I don't really follow it, but yeah, if you say so, maybe I should have higher. How do you recognize development of the club from perspective of a player? Yeah, it's interesting because I came here one year ago, and I think already it's been such a high difference in things. I think the culture has changed in a better way. I think now in these days in modern football you take steps in every department. I think the physio department here is amazing. They're there every day to help you. I think the coaching staff is of course getting more professional. The physical trainers, the media guys are working every day to make the club look better. And if you want to succeed as a club, you have to do all these things good. And I think it's the small details in every department that defines if you can be a top club. So I think every day is getting better and better. That's it. Thank you for all the questions. I want to nominate Michał Saczek for the next round. Thank you.